Okay, today we are power cleaning to a 5 rep touch and go. I've got Metcon 9s on right now. These are actually size 11s, and I still think they fit me pretty well. Like, my outer toes actually still make contact with the front of the shoe, even on the 11s. That was something that was happening to me on the 10 and a halves. And that's what kind of leads me to believe like the toe box is like wide at the metatarsals, but it's I feel like the shoe might run small. Um, yeah, but these fit pretty comfortably. They might be a teeny tiny little bit long, like in front of my big toe, but then my second toe is almost at the very front of the shoe too. So I think they fit pretty well. They probably look gigantic on me. They feel like they're gigantic on me. Um, I mean, like, just in relation to the rest of my body. But like my feet fit inside of them because I got big feet. I ran the 5K yesterday and definitely feeling it in my legs. Um, I got a lot more running today too, which I think I'm gonna do on the assault runner today. Even though it's gonna take me a little bit longer, I still got to test. I think this is gonna be like the final workout before I do the review of the Metcon 9s. I think I've done everything that you could possibly think about doing in these shoes so far. Maybe sled push. That's just a weird one because I don't know, but people buy shoes based off being able to push a sled. Gotta work on catching low. I know when I get to my 5 rep max and catching high, I'm gonna shoot for 205. Realistically, it's probably gonna be that. I would like 225, but even when I was pretty good, 225 is pretty difficult for me. Using a good old Ohio bar today. Definitely should be using something fast, at least faster than an Ohio bar, but this thing matches. I mean, and in all honesty, spin is pretty overrated. Like this bar, as long as the bar spins and doesn't get stuck, it's fine. It's gonna spin, it's gonna rotate. I don't regret running the 5K at all. I actually, even if I didn't have shoes to test, I probably still would have done it. Because, I mean, as a coach and programmer, like, these are things that you need to do. I know there are things that you need to do. And, like, sometimes we skip on them because they're not fun. They're a little boring, not sexy. Can't put it on Instagram. But that's the exact reason why I did it. And I did it without thinking twice. And I would have done it even if I didn't have shoes to test, because I'm the example, if not for some of you guys out there, for the people in my gym, right? If I'm not able to convey that like side of the fitness of CrossFit, then I'm not doing what I should be doing properly, right? You shouldn't be fearing a 5K. Everybody can do it. Like I said, it's probably not the funnest thing to do, but it is part of your fitness. Still feels surprisingly decent. Like, I don't ever do 5 reps at a time. I mean, if I can go 3, I could likely get 5. As I prep for something like this, I try to catch a little bit lower than I normally have to, and then really just think about getting those elbows up when I catch. And the other thing is, I have a really hard time re-gripping, so I'm gonna almost always just hang on to the bar for dear life. Like, if it gets out of my grip, it's pretty much the end of the lift for me. It's really, really hard for me to re-grip. Actually, like, I'm like right there. Now the question is, do I do 205? Do I do 225? See what this 205 feels like here. Might be 205 today. Maybe I'll do 205, see how I feel, and then maybe attempt 225. Fucking hate powers. Okay, so watched it back. Definitely looks a lot easier than it felt. Felt a lot harder. So when you're watching this and you're like, oh man, you got way more in the tank, that felt a lot harder. I clipped my belt on the way down, kind of annoying. Scratched my barbell. It's not like a deep scratch, but it's there. Definitely didn't need to wear the belt. I just wore it because it's new and wanted to try it out. Might need a belt for the next one. Something with these sized up Metcon 9s. Now there's probably too much space in the toe box now, because there was one where my foot went, and yeah, that wasn't all that reassuring to have my foot do that for the next clean. Yeah, so let's see. I think I have another one in me. Well, the shoes in general feel like, I mean, to me they feel great for Oli. I had trouble snatching the other day, but honestly that was not really the shoes, and that was maybe just me. The increased midsole does take a little bit of getting used to, but I think when you get used to it, you know, it'll just be like any other Metcon. Gotta turn my belt this time around. Hopefully it turns out all right. Wasn't pretty. I don't know if I'm posting that one, but whatever, I did it. I felt like, I mean, my old 5 rep was 225 years ago, and I remember it being pretty shitty like that. After the third one, I was like, maybe I should just call it a 3. And then I was like, fuck, let's hold on to it. And just, if I fail, I fail. Might as well just throw it up and see what happens. Sure enough, it went up. And so I'm gonna count that as my 5 rep today.
All right, so the workout that I'm doing right now is 3 rounds for time, 800-meter run, 20 GHD sit-ups, 15 deadlifts, and 10 handstand push-ups. I started out with the Metcon 9s, which are far better of a running shoe or a shoe for running on the assault runner than on pavement. Something about the way that the assault runner curves just makes them feel a lot better and not as clunky as they do on the pavement. They're still not great running shoes. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're still very heavy, and out of the bunch of shoes that I'm testing today, they're definitely the worst ones. For deadlifts, you know, I mean, they're gonna be fine. It's a 185 deadlift. It's not really gonna be too detrimental as far as like the way that the cushion goes. And you know, once again, if you watch my other video, I put up 500 pounds for 4 reps in that video with the Metcon 9s, no problems there. And then handstand push-ups, I did notice that the back part did slide against my metal backing on the wall. And out of all the shoes that I used for handstand push-ups today, I thought the Metcons were definitely the best ones. So here we switch to the drop set 2, which are, I think, far better for running than the Metcon 9s because they are lighter and they feel less clunky and they breathe a lot better. Now, one thing that might be annoying to some people is that you can feel the ventilation holes on the bottoms of your feet. So if you have sensitive feet, that might annoy you. I could feel it. It's not that big a deal to me. It doesn't really bother me that much. For deadlifts, you do lose a little bit of an advantage because you're jumping up to a 6mm drop, but I don't think that, you know, that's not gonna be enough to make you miss a lift, and it's not enough to make me not want to use the shoes to deadlift. When it comes to the handstand push-ups, you know, I mean, I didn't really notice these shoes being bad. I didn't notice them being good. I mean, they're just like any other shoe for handstand push-ups. There's no handstand push-up clip or anything, so there's nothing that's going to help you slide up the wall, but nothing really holding you back from, you know, sliding up the wall either. Here we have the Tier R&R ones, which are the knit runners, which obviously were the best running shoe out of all the bunch. They've got Pebax foam. They're much lighter. They're like 10 ounces for men's 10 and a half. They are pretty narrow, or might just run small, so do keep that in account. For the deadlifts, they did just fine. Once again, it's 185. I wouldn't do anything over like my 80% in these shoes, but I think as a running WOD shoe, they're gonna do just fine. I like the 4mm drop, and I think the pitch is generally easy to control on them. For handstand push-ups, they're like any other shoe. Once again, like the Adidas, they don't do anything special, but they also don't impede your handstand push-up at all. I finished this workout in 24 minutes or something.